The energetic self. Introduction. Remember those quiet moments in your life when something inside you whispered the truth before reality caught up, when you sensed an outcome long before it unfolded, when your body felt the shift before your mind understood it. We tend to dismiss these experiences as intuition, coincidence, or imagination, but they are none of those things. What you felt was your energy field reaching outward, touching the world ahead of you, responding to information your physical senses could not yet perceive. You have always been connected to something deeper, something older, something far more intelligent than thought. An invisible force woven into the fabric of your being, guiding you, shaping you, speaking to you in the language of sensation and feeling. Most people move through life unaware of this force. They struggle, they push, they fight, believing that effort alone shapes reality. But beneath every decision, beneath every emotion, beneath every moment you have ever lived, there has been a subtler architect at work: your energy. It is the silent current that flows through your body and far beyond it, forming a luminous field of vibration that responds to everything you think, everything you feel, and everything you hold inside. And whether you knew it or not, this field has been influencing the people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the challenges that repeat, and the direction your life has taken. You are not separate from the world around you. You are constantly communicating with it through the invisible force that surrounds you. For so long, this force has operated in the background of your life, unseen, unquestioned, unclaimed. But the moment you bring awareness to it, the moment you learn to feel it, understand it, and guide it, your entire reality begins to shift, because energy is not a metaphor, it is not a spiritual concept to believe in, it is the foundation of your existence, the blueprint behind every outcome, the bridge between your inner world and your outer experience. In this journey, you are not here to learn something new. You are here to remember something ancient, something you have always known but forgotten along the way. Your energy is your original power, your silent compass, your hidden language. And once you learn to use it, nothing about your life will remain the same. Chapter 1. The Energy Field. You forgot you had. There are moments in your life you've never been able to explain. Moments when you sensed something before it happened, when your body reacted before your mind understood, when a quiet signal moved through you like a whisper from a world just beyond your reach. These moments were never accidents. They were invitations, hints, openings. You've always had access to an invisible language, a kind of inner radar moving silently beneath your thoughts, but because no one taught you to pay attention to it, you learned to dismiss it as intuition, coincidence, or luck. You learn to assume that what cannot be seen must not be real. Yet the truth is the opposite. The invisible is often more real than what appears in front of you. This quiet knowing you felt all your life was not coming from your mind. It was coming from the energy field surrounding you. An electromagnetic extension of your consciousness that influences your world long before your first action or decision is made. Scientists measure pieces of it. Mystics describe the whole of it. But you have lived inside it since the day you arrived here. And somewhere along the way, you forgot it was yours. Your energy field is not symbolic. It is not a metaphor or a poetic idea. It is a living force surrounding your body, shaped by every thought, every emotion, every belief, responding to your inner world with perfect loyalty. It expands when you're aligned and open. It contracts when you're afraid, overwhelmed, or disconnected from yourself. But here's the part most people never realize. Your energy field doesn't just reflect your inner state. It communicates it. It broadcasts it outward, affecting the people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the experiences that repeat themselves in your life. This means your energy is not following your life. Your life follows your energy. We've been taught to believe that circumstances shape us, that luck decides outcomes, that effort creates progress. But your energy field has been shaping your reality long before your decisions ever take form. It is the unseen architect behind patterns you keep repeating, the silent magnet behind the situations you attract, the deeper reason why some paths feel effortless and others feel impossible, no matter how hard you push. You can feel this every time you walk into a room and instantly sense the atmosphere. You can feel it when someone approaches you carrying heaviness or joy. You can feel it when you meet a person and something inside you says yes or warns you without explanation. This is not imagination. This is not emotion. This is perception on an energetic level. The oldest form of perception you have. Your energy field has been speaking for you your entire life. Every thought you've repeated, every wound you've carried, every fear you've inherited, every dream you've nurtured, they all shape the vibration of this field, and this vibration shapes the world you meet. Most people never learn this. They never learn that their exhaustion, their stuckness, their emotional heaviness, their endless cycles of the same lessons are not personal failures. They are energetic signals. Signs that the field around them has become cluttered, dimmed, or tangled by years of unprocessed experience. Magnify this truth for a moment. If your energy field contains your emotions, your memories, your beliefs, your intuition, your vitality, your fears, your dreams, then your entire life has been responding not to what you think, but to what you radiate. And the moment you understand this, a profound shift occurs. You stop trying to force change from the outside and begin transforming from the level where reality actually begins, the energy beneath everything. This is where true power lives. This is where clarity awakens. This is where alignment becomes possible. Your energy field is not a mysterious concept reserved for spiritual seekers. It is the most practical tool you possess for shaping your life. It is the interface between your inner and outer worlds, the bridge connecting your thoughts to your experiences, the subtle force that determines whether life feels like resistance or flow. And for the first time, you are learning how to work with it consciously. You are not stepping into something new. You are stepping back into yourself. As you move forward, you will learn to sense your energy, to clear it, to strengthen it, and ultimately to direct it with intention rather than habit. This is the beginning of remembering who you are beneath the noise, beneath the story, beneath the surface. This is the return to the part of you that has been waiting patiently for you to pay attention again. Your energy field has been shaping your life all along. Now, you begin shaping it. And from here, everything begins to change. Chapter 2. The 7 Layers of Your Invisible Self. There is a question most people never think to ask, yet it holds the key to understanding why they feel the way they do, why certain patterns repeat, and why some wounds follow them quietly through the years. The question is simple. Where exactly do your emotions live? Where do your fears rest when you're not thinking about them? Where does your intuition speak from? Where does your joy radiate when it arises without warning? Where do the parts of you exist that cannot be touched or seen, yet shape everything you experience? Most assume these things are inside the mind, but the mind is only one room in a much larger house, a house made of layers, light and vibration. A structure so familiar to your soul that you've been living inside it without knowing its shape. And this house is your energy field. The truth is this: you are not one self, but seven. 7 layers of being, 7 expressions of consciousness, 7 worlds that overlap to form the totality of who you are. And without understanding them, you only ever meet a fraction of yourself. Let yourself imagine for a moment that your body is not wrapped by empty space, but surrounded by a shimmering atmosphere, a field of light, layered like the auroras that dance across the sky. Each layer holds a different part of you, a different truth about your existence, and because you've never been taught to sense them, you've been trying to understand your life through a lens far too small. The first layer, closest to your skin, is the etheric body, your foundation. This is where your vitality lives, the electric pulse of life force that gives your body strength. When this layer is bright, you feel grounded, energized, awake. When it dulls, you feel tired or disconnected, as though life is happening at a distance from you. But the etheric body is only the beginning. Just beyond it lies your emotional body, a fluid layer made of feelings that rise and fall like waves. This is where joy glows, where sadness gathers, where unhealed wounds rest in quiet corners, waiting to be released. If you've ever felt heavy without understanding why, the emotional body was speaking to you. Beyond this, like a thin veil of thought, rests your mental body. It carries your beliefs, your assumptions, your inner monologue, your stories about who you are and what is possible. When this layer becomes cluttered with noise or doubt, even the simplest decision feels overwhelming. Your thoughts loop, your mind becomes a maze. But you are still not limited to your thoughts. You extend outward into the astral body, the layer of connection, the place where love lives, where attachment forms, where relationships leave their imprint. This is the layer that expands when you trust and contracts when you fear. It remembers every bond you've ever held, even long after your mind has let it go. Beyond the astral lies the etheric template, the blueprint of your individuality. It holds your voice, your expression, the essence of your presence. A disturbance here will make you feel like you've lost your sense of self, like you are performing a life that no longer belongs to you. And then, as the field grows more subtle, more luminous, you reach the celestial body, your intuitive self. This is the layer that perceives truth without logic, receives guidance in dreams, and senses what is real before evidence appears. When this layer dims, you lose access to your inner compass. And finally, at the outermost boundary of your being lies the causal body, the memory of your soul. The lessons you came into this life carrying, the patterns you are here to transcend, the wisdom you've gathered across lifetimes. This is the part of you that feels ancient, unchanging, and deeply familiar. These 7 layers are not separate. They breathe together. They shape one another. A wound in one becomes a shadow in the next. A healing in one becomes a light in all the others. This is why you sometimes feel emotions you cannot explain, because the emotion didn't begin in your mind. This is why certain thoughts repeat endlessly, because they aren't mental, they are energetic imprints. This is why relationships feel magnetic or draining, because the astral body remembers everything. This is why intuition comes in whispers, because the celestial body speaks softly. This is why you sense things before they happen, because the causal body sees farther than your eyes ever will. When you understand the 7 layers of your invisible self, you finally understand that your life wasn't shaped by a single version of you. It was shaped by all of you, working together, even when you were unaware of their influence. And now that you are learning to see these layers, you are no longer confined to the surface of your existence. You are beginning to live from your fullness, your vastness, your true inner architecture. As we move forward, you will not just understand these layers, you will learn how to sense them, how to feel their shifts, how to recognize their signals, and how to nourish them so your entire field becomes clear, bright, and aligned. And once you feel the whole of yourself, you will never mistake your life for something random again. In the next chapter, you will discover the hidden blockages that gather inside these layers, how they form, and how they silently shape your reality, often for years, until you finally learn to release them. Everything is about to make sense. Chapter 3. The Hidden Blockages Shaping Your Life. There is a reason why you sometimes feel heavy without knowing why. A reason why certain patterns keep returning. Why opportunities seem to slip past you. Why your energy rises and falls in ways that logic cannot explain. And it's not because you're broken. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's not because life is unfair. There is something happening beneath the surface. Something you can't see with your eyes, but have felt your entire life. Energy blockages. Most people go years, even decades, without realizing they are carrying them. Blockages become the invisible weight behind procrastination, the quiet tension behind anxiety, the echo behind old memories that still shape your reactions, the subtle resistance you feel when you try to move forward. You can feel them every time you say, "I don't know why I'm like this," or "I want to change, but something keeps pulling me back." That something is not your mind. It's not your willpower. It's not a weakness. It is the energy trapped in your field. And until you understand it, you repeat the same cycles without knowing why. Imagine your energy as a river, alive, flowing, meant to move freely. Now imagine that over the years, stress, heartbreak, doubt, fear, and unprocessed experiences begin to fall into that river like debris. Not all at once. One small piece at a time. A forgotten memory. A moment you never allowed yourself to feel. A belief someone handed you when you were too young to question it. At first, each piece seems insignificant. The river still moves. Life continues. You adapt. But then another piece of debris appears, and another, until slowly, quietly, without your awareness, the river becomes obstructed, the flow slows down, and your energy begins to stagnate. This is how blockages form, not from dramatic moments, but from all the little things you were never taught how to release. Your mind moves on long before your energy does. This explains why you can logically understand that something is behind you, yet still feel its presence like a shadow. This is why your body tightens in certain situations, even when you tell yourself there's no reason to be afraid. This is why you repeat emotional patterns, even when you've promised yourself you wouldn't. This is why your energy feels scattered or heavy, even on days when nothing went wrong. Because the blockage is not in your thoughts, it's in your field. And I'll magnify this idea for a moment. If every unresolved emotion, every suppressed experience, every inherited belief remains stored in your energy field, then your life has been shaped not by the present, but by the energetic echoes of your past. These blockages become the invisible walls you run into, the unseen resistance that keeps you replaying the same lessons. They alter the vibration of your field, and your field shapes your reality. This is why change feels so difficult when you try to achieve it only through willpower. You cannot mentally override an energetic pattern. Your mind can say, "I'm ready," but your field may still be carrying fear, tightness, grief, shame, or memories you never fully processed. When your energy is blocked, your body feels it first. Fatigue, tension, restlessness, a lack of motivation. Then your emotions follow. Heaviness, irritability, anxiety, feeling stuck. And eventually, your life begins to reflect the blockage, repeated cycles, familiar challenges, closed doors that never seem to open. But here is the deeper truth. Blockages don't form to punish you. They form to protect you. Each blockage began as a moment your body tried to keep you safe. When you were overwhelmed, your energy tried to hold the emotion until you were ready to face it. When you were hurt, your field dimmed to soften the impact. When you were afraid, your energy contracted to shield your heart. But what once protected you may now be limiting you. You've outgrown the reasons your energy once closed itself off. What protected you then may be holding you back now. And this is where transformation begins, because when you learn to sense these blockages, to feel the heaviness, the tightness, the old emotional residue, you can begin to release it, gently, slowly, without force. Awareness is the first shift. Compassion is the second. Presence is the third. You do not release blockages by pushing. You release them by listening. As you bring your attention to these energetic knots, you'll notice something remarkable. What once felt like an immovable wall begins to soften. What once felt like a burden begins to loosen. The field around your body begins to breathe again, and slowly, the river of your energy starts to move. This is the moment many people describe as feeling lighter, as if something they didn't realize they were carrying. Finally let go. You are not chasing healing. You are allowing it. And as your field clears, you feel parts of yourself waking up. Intuition, vitality, clarity, possibility. The world around you begins to shift in ways that feel subtle at first, then undeniable. The blockage is no longer shaping your life. Your alignment is. In the next chapter, you will learn how to open this flow intentionally, through breath, presence, and simple energetic practices that restores movement where stagnation once lived. Your energy has been waiting to move again. Now, you're learning how to let it. Chapter 4. Opening the flow. There is a moment in every person's life when they begin to realize something subtle yet profound. The heaviness they've been carrying wasn't meant to stay. The tension they've gotten used to was never their natural state. And the stillness they've been longing for is already inside them, waiting. This moment often begins with a single question. If my energy can become blocked, can it also become free again? The answer isn't just yes. The answer is that your energy has been trying to free itself all along. Most people spend their lives trying to think their way out of emotional weight, or force their way out of stagnation, or push their way through resistance. But energy doesn't open through force. It opens through awareness. It opens through gentleness. It opens when you return to the most ancient technologies you were born with: your breath, your presence, and your ability to feel. This chapter is about remembering those technologies, because before you were taught to analyze your life, you were meant to sense it. Take a moment, right now, to notice your breath. Not to control it, not to deepen it, just to notice it. Notice the movement of your chest, the subtle expansion of your ribs, the quiet rhythm that has been keeping you alive every second of your existence without ever asking for your permission. Your breath is the bridge between your body and your energy. It is the only function that is both automatic and voluntary, which means it is the doorway into both your unconscious and your conscious self. This is why breath is the first key to opening your energy flow. Now magnify this idea. Your breath does not just move air, it moves emotion. It moves stagnant energy. It moves the tension you've been storing in your chest for years. It moves the weight you've been carrying in your shoulders that never belonged to you. It moves the tightness in your solar plexus that has been whispering for your attention every time you tried to be strong instead of honest. Your breath reveals where your energy has been trapped. For a moment, try something simple. Inhale through your nose, slowly, softly, as if you are taking in light. Hold it for the briefest pause. And then exhale through your mouth, as though your body is releasing something heavy that you no longer need. You might feel a subtle shift, a moment of lightness, a softening from within. This is not relaxation. This is a release. Your breath is doing what your mind could never do on its own. Now breathe again, shifting your awareness a little deeper. Imagine that with each inhale, your field expands outward, glowing, opening, clearing. And with each exhale, old energy leaves your body. The tension, the fear, the past. Nothing forced, nothing dramatic, just a gentle allowance. This is the first layer of opening the flow, releasing what no longer belongs. But breath alone is only the beginning. To truly restore the movement of your energy, you must learn to return to presence. Presence is not simply being in the moment. It is meeting the moment without resistance. It is the space where your mind stops spiraling into the past, your body stops bracing for the future, and your energy finally has room to move again. Presence is the pause between thoughts, the quiet after an exhale, the stillness before your next decision. When you enter presence, your energy begins to reorganize itself naturally. Try this. Close your eyes for a moment and let yourself become aware of the space around your body. Not your thoughts, not your sensations, but the space itself. The subtle field that extends a few inches, a few feet, maybe even farther. Notice that this space has a temperature, a texture, a feel. You are sensing your energy. This is the second layer of opening the flow. Awareness. Awareness is the tool your energy responds to most. Not judgment, not pushing, not trying, just awareness. When you feel a tightness in your chest, you do not need to fix it, just notice it. When you sense heaviness in your stomach, you do not need to solve it, just breathe into it. When you feel emotional pressure behind your ribs, you do not need to understand it, just hold it with presence. This is how energy softens. This is how it unwinds. This is how it moves again. Awareness is acceptance, and acceptance is liberation. As your breath deepens and your awareness expands, your energy begins to reopen the way a river reclaims its movement when the debris is finally removed. This is the third layer of opening the flow. Movement. Not physical movement, but energetic movement. The feeling of life force rising in your spine, of spaciousness returning to your chest, of lightness returning to your field. The more you breathe and feel, the more your energy begins to circulate again in the places where it once felt stuck. And once the flow returns, something beautiful begins to happen. Your emotions become easier to process, your thoughts become clearer, your intuition becomes louder, your body becomes lighter, and your entire field begins to expand outward like a sunrise from within. This is the shift you came here for. The shift from blocked to open, from dense to light, from holding on to letting go, from contraction to expansion. And this shift is only the beginning. In the next chapter, you will discover how this renewed flow changes your reality, how vibration moves through your field, how it creates ripple effects in your life, and how your energy does far more than shape your inner world. It shapes the world around you. Your energy is moving again. Now, we go deeper. Chapter 5. The Mechanics of Vibration and Reality. There is a question that has lived at the center of every spiritual tradition, every mystical teaching, every intuitive whisper you've ever felt. Why does life respond to some people differently than others? Why do certain individuals seem to attract opportunity without trying, while others feel as if they're pushing through an invisible wall? Why does clarity arrive effortlessly on some days and remain frustratingly out of reach for others? If life were only physical, if reality were only material, none of this would make sense. But reality is not responding to what you do. Reality is responding to what you are. And what are you is vibration. This is the part most people never realize. Your energy field is constantly broadcasting a frequency, a silent signal created by your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your memories, your intentions, and the overall level of consciousness you inhabit. This frequency sets the tone of your life in the same way that the tuning of a string determines the music it plays. But because you can't see vibration with your eyes, you've been taught to believe it isn't happening. You've been taught to look at outcomes without ever examining the energy producing them. You were taught to focus on effort instead of resonance, on action instead of alignment. This is why so many people feel exhausted. They're trying to create in the physical world what they haven't yet become in the energetic one. Now, magnify this idea. Every emotion you feel carries a measurable frequency. Fear contracts your field, joy expands it, anger densifies it, gratitude elevates it, sadness slows it, love accelerates it, clarity sharpens it, confusion scatters it. You don't need to force vibration, you live inside it. Your vibration is not something you consciously generate, it is the natural result of the state you're in. And because your vibration dictates what your energy field radiates, and your energy field shapes what reality reflects, your life becomes a mirror of your inner frequency. You've seen this before, even if you didn't have words for it. Think of a time you woke up feeling light, hopeful, open. On those days, life flowed differently. You met the right people. You had the right conversations. You walked into the right moments without effort. It felt as though the world was aligned with your steps. And now think of a day you felt stressed, scattered, overwhelmed. On those days, everything seemed to work against you. The smallest inconvenience felt amplified. The world became heavier, and everything required more effort. The external world didn't change. Your vibration did. Your energy field acts like a tuning fork. It resonates with similar vibrations and attracts them. It repels what does not match its frequency. It organizes the patterns of your life based on the signal you're broadcasting. This is why certain people, situations, and outcomes repeat themselves. Your vibration is calling them in, again and again, until the frequency changes. Most people spend their lives trying to change the reflection instead of changing the vibration that produces it. They try to fix the situation without shifting the energy. They try to force a new outcome while carrying the same frequency. They try to create abundance while radiating fear of lack. They try to attract love while vibrating with the wounds of abandonment. They try to manifest peace while holding unresolved chaos inside the heart. And then they wonder why life doesn't change. But here is the deeper truth. Reality is not responding to your desires. Reality is responding to your energetic signature. This means your power has never been in fighting what appears, but in shifting what you radiate. And this shift is not complicated. It does not require dramatic events or spiritual perfection. It requires one thing: awareness of the vibration you're inhabiting right now. Close your eyes for a moment and notice how your body feels. Is it open or tight? Is your breath deep or shallow? Is your mind scattered or present? Is your chest soft or armored? Is your energy expanding or contracting? Without judgment, notice the vibration of this moment. This simple act of awareness. It is the first step toward transformation. Feel how your breath alters your frequency. Feel how softening your shoulders changes the quality of your field. Feel how releasing a single thought creates space inside you. Feel how letting go of tension immediately shifts your vibration upward. Vibration is not abstract. It is your lived experience. It is the emotional and energetic tone of your now. And every shift you make on the inside sends ripples outward, rearranging the way reality responds to you. This is the birth of alignment, not a concept, not a visualization. A real-time change in the field around your body. As you learn to raise your vibration intentionally, you stop chasing experiences and begin attracting them. You stop forcing change and begin allowing it. You stop fighting life and begin co-creating it. In the next chapter, you will discover how ancient practices were designed to support this elevation, how breath, movement, stillness, and intention can tune your field and lift your vibration into the frequencies where clarity, love, abundance, and synchronicity naturally lives. Your vibration is speaking. Now, you are learning how to speak back. Chapter 6. Ancient Systems for Modern Alignment. There is something fascinating about the oldest civilizations on Earth. Long before science developed its instruments, long before psychology named its theories, long before modern culture reduced human experience to logic and busyness, they already knew something we are only rediscovering now. That energy is the foundation of every aspect of life. How did they know? How did they understand what we are only beginning to measure? How did they build entire systems, whole ways of living, around the flow of unseen forces inside the human body? If you look closely, you'll notice something remarkable. Cultures that never met, that spoke different languages, that lived on opposite sides of the world, all taught the same truth. They all believed that life force moves through the body. They all believed that emotion and breath shape this force. They all believed that alignment creates harmony and stagnation creates suffering. They all believed the body is a vessel for the spirit, and the spirit expresses itself through energy. And they all left behind tools, simple, powerful tools, to bring the human field back into balance. Some called it chi, some called it prana, some called it ruach, some called it life force, but they all pointed toward the same invisible current. Yet in the modern world, people move further away from themselves than ever before. They live in their minds, rushing, thinking, worrying, overanalyzing, trying to solve energetic problems with mental strategies, and wondering why nothing changes. You cannot think your way into alignment. You must return to it. This is where ancient systems enter, like forgotten teachers. Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, Pranayama, meditation, breathwork. These were not spiritual decorations. They were technologies, tools created with one purpose, to tune the energy field until the body, breath, and mind move as one. Imagine for a moment the precision of these systems. Yoga postures were designed to open energetic channels. Tai Chi movements were created to circulate life force with the gentleness of flowing water. Pranayama breathing techniques were engineered to activate the nervous system and alter the vibration of consciousness. Meditation was a method not for thinking less, but for expanding into the deeper layers of your field. These practices survived thousands of years because they work on the level where change truly begins. The energetic level. And now magnify this truth. Every ancient technique, it was a conversation with your energy, a way of reaching into the parts of you that cannot be touched by thought alone, a way of clearing what the mind forgot to process, a way of unlocking the flow that life experiences once restricted. People often ask, how do I raise my vibration? How do I release old patterns? How do I reconnect with myself? How do I feel aligned again? The ancient world answered all of these questions with the same quiet wisdom. Begin with the body, continue with the breath, complete with consciousness, because alignment is not created from the outside in, it is created from the inside outward. It begins when you return to your inner architecture and reconnect with the rhythms your body already understands. Slow breathing is an ancient technology for calming the mind and clearing emotional static. Mindful movement is an ancient technology for untying energetic knots in the muscles and fascia. Meditation is an ancient technology for aligning thought with being. Stillness is an ancient technology for hearing the guidance you've been too busy to notice. And when these technologies work together, your field begins to clear, your vibration begins to rise, your intuition begins to sharpen, your presence becomes more grounded, more spacious, more coherent. This is the effect of ancient practices. They restore the natural harmony you were born with, but learned to suppress. Now feel this on an emotional level. Your body has been asking for movement. Your breath has been asking for depth. Your mind has been asking for stillness. Your field has been asking for space. Ancient practices give all of this back to you. You don't need to master them. You don't need to practice for hours a day. You don't need perfection. You only need consistency, a willingness to return to yourself, to listen, to feel, to breathe. Every time you take a slow breath, your frequency rises. Every time you move with intention, your channels open. Every time you sit in stillness, your field aligns. Every time you return to your body, your energy remembers. This is the shift, from chaos to coherence, from noise to clarity, from disconnection to presence, from effort to flow. As you begin to integrate these ancient tools, you will feel your field strengthening. You will sense your energy moving more freely. You will notice synchronicities increasing. You will hear your intuition more clearly. You will feel more like yourself than you have in years. This is what alignment feels like. And now that your field is opening and your vibration is rising, you are ready for something deeper. The understanding of how energy does not just move within you, it moves into your reality. In the next chapter, you will learn how alignment becomes manifestation, how vibration becomes attraction, and how your energy field becomes the blueprint of the life you create. Your energy is awakening. Now, you learn how it shapes the world around you. Chapter 7. Manifestation through energetic alignment. There is a moment in everyone's life when they begin to wonder why certain desires never unfold the way they hope, why dreams feel close but remain just out of reach. Why do some goals move easily while others refuse to budge? No matter how determined or disciplined they try to be, we're taught to believe success comes from effort alone. We're told to push harder, plan better, and hustle longer. But if effort were the source of creation, the hardest working people would have the easiest lives. You already know that isn't true. There is something else at play, something quieter, deeper, older than any strategy or plan, something that works beneath the surface of your thoughts and long before your actions take shape. Manifestation doesn't begin with doing. Manifestation begins with being. People try to create change from the level of desire. I want this. I need this. I hope this will happen. But desire is not creation. Desire is only the spark. The energy that fuels manifestation is alignment. And this is where most people feel lost. They assume manifestation has failed because the outcome didn't happen when they wanted it to. But manifestation doesn't respond to want. It responds to vibration. Now magnify this truth. Your energy field is constantly broadcasting a frequency, even when you're not aware of it. Even when your mind says one thing while your emotion says another. If you desire abundance but vibrate with fear, fear becomes the signal. If you desire love but vibrate with self-doubt, self-doubt becomes the magnet. If you desire peace but vibrate with unresolved tension, tension becomes the message your field sends outward. This is not punishment. This is resonance. Life mirrors the vibration you hold most consistently, not the one you consciously prefer. This is why force doesn't work. This is why wishing doesn't work. This is why repeating affirmations without emotional coherence feels hollow and ineffective. You cannot manifest a life you are not vibrationally attuned to. Manifestation is not about convincing the universe. It is about becoming a match for what you seek. It is not mental repetition. It is an energetic remembrance. And the moment you understand this, your entire relationship with creation changes. Notice how your body feels when you choose a desire. Some desires expand your chest, open your breath, soften your shoulders, light up your mind. Others make you tense, contracted, unsure, or heavy. Your body already knows which desires are aligned and which desires are rooted in fear, ego, comparison, or old wounds. Your energy tells you the truth long before the outcome arrives. To manifest anything, you must first become the version of yourself who naturally receives it. Not through performance, not through pretending, but through alignment with the emotional frequency of what you are calling in. If you want love, you align with openness. If you want abundance, you align with trust. If you want clarity, you align with presence. If you want peace, you align with the release. If you want transformation, you align with willingness. Manifestation is not magic. It is coherence. It is the moment your inner world and outer world begin speaking the same language. Feel this deeply. Every thought you focus on is sending a signal. Every emotion you hold is charging that signal. Every belief you carry shapes the direction of that signal. Every moment you choose alignment over fear, over doubt, over habit. Your vibration rises toward the frequency of what you desire. This is the shift from trying to allowing, from wanting to embodying, from pushing to receiving. Manifestation becomes effortless when you remember that your energy is the instruction and the universe is simply responding. Now take a slow breath. Feel the way your chest expands, the way you exhale softens your field. Imagine standing inside a quiet room where your desire already exists, where it is already real, where you are already living it. Notice how your body responds. Notice the emotion that rises. Notice whether your energy opens or contracts. This feeling, this vibrational state, is the true beginning of manifestation. This is where creation begins, not in the mind, but in the field. As you practice this more, as you hold the vibration of what you want longer and longer, your reality begins to rearrange itself, synchronicities appear, unexpected opportunities open, people show up at the right moment. Life begins to meet you halfway because you are finally aligned with what you're calling in. You are no longer chasing outcomes, you are inviting them. And as your alignment deepens, your manifestations become clearer, faster, more natural. Not because you forced them, but because you became the version of yourself who could finally hold them. In the next chapter, you'll learn how this alignment becomes mastery, how your energy field can be strengthened, refined, and trained, so your manifestations stop being isolated moments and start becoming your natural way of moving through the world. Your vibration is speaking, your desires are listening. Now you learn how to live in coherence. Chapter 8. Mastering Your Energy, a New Way of Living. There comes a moment, after all the awareness, after all the release, after all the shifts in your breath and your field, when you begin to realize something profound. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to the person you were always meant to be. Most people spend their lives trying to fix themselves, repair themselves, improve themselves, because they believe something is wrong or missing within them. But nothing is missing. Nothing has ever been missing. What you've been searching for is simply buried beneath layers of noise, fear, tension, and expectation that never belong to you. Energy mastery is not about changing who you are. It is about clearing what you are not until your true vibration becomes unmistakably clear. But before mastery comes one essential realization. Your energy is always communicating, and life is always responding. Not sometimes, not occasionally, always. Now magnify this truth for a moment. Your thoughts shape your energy. Your energy shapes your field. Your field shapes your opportunities. Your opportunities shape your life. This means that the more coherent your energy becomes, the more coherent your reality becomes. The more grounded you are within yourself, the more grounded your experiences feel. The more aligned your vibration becomes, the more aligned your life becomes. Mastery is not intensity. Mastery is consistency. It is a quiet decision to show up for yourself every single day, even in small ways, even in subtle tones, even in the moments when it would be easier to slip back into the familiar patterns of survival. Your energy does not ask for perfection. It asks for presence. Presence in your breath, presence in your choices, presence in your emotions, presence in your reactions, presence in the way you move through every moment of your life, because presence builds coherence, and coherence builds power. Most people try to master their energy by fixing the symptoms: stress, anxiety, exhaustion, confusion, stagnation. But symptoms are simply the signals your energy is sending to get your attention. They are not the problem. They are the message. Mastery begins when you stop fighting the signals and begin listening to them. When your chest tightens, it is not a weakness, it is communication. When your mind becomes loud, it is not failure. It is momentum you haven't yet redirected. When your emotions swell, it is not chaos. It is energy trying to move. When you feel heavy, it is not stuckness. It is accumulation asking to be released. When you feel disconnected, it is not emptiness. It is your energy calling you home. Your energy never works against you. It always works for you, even when it feels uncomfortable. Mastery is learning to recognize that discomfort is simply unprocessed energy seeking integration. And integration does not require control. It requires compassion. This is what most people misunderstand. Energy does not respond to force. It responds to allowing. It responds to breath. It responds to softness. It responds to the gentle act of turning toward yourself instead of away. Now feel this on an emotional level. Every time you breathe deeply, you recalibrate your vibration. Every time you pause before reacting, you shift your frequency upward. Every time you choose presence over avoidance, your field becomes clearer. Every time you listen to your emotions without judgment, your energy becomes lighter. Every time you honor your intuition, your field becomes stronger. This is mastery, not a dramatic transformation, but a series of small, aligned decisions that raise your vibration one moment at a time, and slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, you begin to notice something changing. Your reactions soften, your inner world becomes quieter, your outer world becomes more synchronized. You feel less pulled by life and more in partnership with it. You begin attracting the right conversations, the right opportunities, the right people without trying. You begin trusting yourself more deeply. You begin navigating challenges with clarity instead of fear. You begin waking each morning with a subtle sense of alignment, like your energy has begun leading you rather than lagging behind you. This is the life that opens when your energy becomes coherent, and as it continues to strengthen, you begin to operate from a place of inner authority. Not dominance, not control, but the quiet knowing that you are no longer at war with yourself. This is the true gift of energy mastery. You stop trying to force life, because you finally realize life is not something you manage. It is something you align with. Your energy becomes a compass. Your intuition becomes a guide. Your breath becomes an anchor. Your presence becomes your power. And reality becomes a conversation between your inner world and the field that surrounds you. In the final minutes of this journey, you will learn to integrate everything you've discovered, to merge awareness, alignment, vibration, and presence into a single, coherent way of being. Because your energy is no longer something you observe, it is something you live.